Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat comes out this Friday, so, the new one anyways, and I thought it would be, like, the perfect time, I guess, to go back or rewatch the original, do a video on it. I know there are sequels to this movie. I know there's a few Mortal Kombat movies. But I am only talking about the original one because, frankly, I don't have the time to do the other ones, and also, like, yeah, that's it. Mortal Kombat is a fun, dumb movie from the 90s. I think my only issue with this movie is the rating. But this is really what you could do in the 90s. Mortal Kombat was a game that was rated R. Okay, there were two different versions. Back in the 90s, there was the version where it did show the blood, and I think that was the Sega Genesis version. And the Nintendo version, they didn't show that. And so, yeah, it was a very violent video game, and that caused a lot of controversy back in the 90s. A lot of kids weren't allowed to play it, so you couldn't really do a movie aimed at teenagers in the 90s with the Mortal Kombat movie at that time. Now we can kind of do that, and I've always said that you shouldn't kind of skew away from that stuff because, let's face it, so many parents are always like, yeah, I don't want my kid seeing stuff like that in movies, but it's like, then they go play it in, like, M for mature rated video games, which is crazy. I've always said that's such a dumb thing that parents, like, do. And, and now it's becoming less of an issue, and I think that's great because this shouldn't be an issue. Like, if you're okay with your kid playing it in video games, then you should be okay with them watching it in movies. Like, it's the same thing, just one's actually more graphic most of the time, which is video games. But like, I don't know. Mortal Kombat is about as good as a 90s Mortal Kombat movie could be, though, for the most part anyways. I think my only issue with this movie is we don't really have a martial arts director in this movie. Like, the martial arts is fine, but it's not really that good for what it could be anyways. But as it stands, it's fine. Like, the action's fine, cool enough. It is, there's a lot that this movie butchers about the Mortal Kombat lore, but it's probably the best thing we could have gotten out of the 90s, like I said. I mean, Sub-Zero and Scorpion don't really speak besides, the get over here line, which is like, yeah, I mean, that's basically, he had to say that because it's Scorpion, yeah, I mean, overall, it's about as good as a 90s Mortal Kombat movie could be. It's fun, it's stupid, and, it's about a tournament and all that. It's like, I don't know what people were, like, expecting. I know some people are like, this movie, I know some people are like, this kind of movie stinks, and I think in some ways it isn't the greatest, but I think with that new Mortal Kombat movie, we'll finally get the Mortal Kombat movie that we kind of all really deserve. I'll be talking about that on Friday, so we will see.